What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission, CT3939, coming at you live from Seattle. And if the camera moves right behind you, it is because I got my co-pilot, Leia. She's actually my cat. For whatever reason, she's sitting right behind the camera. So Luke's upstairs chilling. Leia is behind the camera, so apologies if it moves. But I wanted to come on, one, and just say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We hit 1,000 subscribers over the weekend, which is awesome. I did not expect to do that. It was in a little under 2 months, which definitely was aided by some videos that popped thanks to Andor. And now that Andor is not going on, those videos are not popping. So we're just going to continue to do lives, continue to do shorts, and we'll continue to do videos like we've been doing with the Trooper Spotlights. My goal is really to get this channel built out as like a Galactic Republic hub to where you can come here and learn anything you want to about clone troopers, Sis, Jedi, Sith, and anyone that you would have seen in the prequels, because that's what I grew up with. I remember seeing The Phantom Menace when I was 8 years old. It's epic, and that's what I'm all about. So today I want to dive into 5 things that I think could potentially go down in Bad Batch Season 2. We can call them theories. I got a little bit of research that I did, and so I'll be pulling those up and showing you guys where I'm coming from when I come up with these crazy ideas. Some aren't that crazy, some I've talked about on the channel, but let's dive into it. So I'm going to present here and just kind of go through a couple things that I think we could be seeing. So let's go here, boom, and bam, slides, extra camera, share screen. All right. That's not what we want to do. Stop sharing. So, why isn't it doing this? Present. Here we go. We'll just present this tab. So first thing I want to look at is Rex sending them to find Commander Wolffe. I think we're going to see that because, one, we see Wolffe in Rebels, and that would tie up a lot of continuity. Obviously, we know we have Dave Filoni behind the helm for both Rebels and now for Bad Batch Season 2 and Batch Season 1. If you remember in episode 14 in War Mantle, the Bad Batch crew, Clone Force 99, went to Darrow, and there they discovered CC-5576, I believe, and it was Gregor. They rescued Gregor from the Imperial facility on Darrow. They ran into Scorch and number of Imperial troopers. But I think that could be what Rex is calling them to go and do when he says, "Hey, I got another mission for you guys." That's something that we see in the most recent trailer that dropped about a week ago. And so that is one thing that I think we will see. If you go and look at the Wikipedia on Wolffe, there really isn't anything between when he finishes his final mission on Obadiah with Jedi Master Plo Koon, and then boom, it just drops him right into the scene on the ATTE. So I think that's something that we could definitely see, and that's theory number 1. Theory number two is going to be the Zillo Beast, and this is something that I definitely think that we could be seeing. I'm going to pull up a couple different images here, and these are going to be things pulled from the different trailers that we saw earlier in this year, and also the trailer that we saw in the last week. So let's pull that one up, and we're going to do this again. Bam, bam. But I think the big one here is, if you remember back to Season 2 of the Clone Wars, Episode 18, you had the scene with the Zillo Beast, and the Galactic Republic is on Malastare, which is the home of the Dugs. And with that, you have a number of essentially proton bombs that are going off, and in the process they wake up the Zillo Beast, which is a semi-sentient reptilian species endemic to the planet Malastare. And so obviously that Zillo Beast died in the following episode, but one of the things that was really interesting is that that creature is a creature that is immune. Its armor-like scales are impervious to lightsabers. Armor-like scales are impervious to lightsabers. And so I think these two images that we're seeing here, one where it's kind of like this Pokemon type thing, one where you see just a flash, but it's the mouth of potentially a Zillo Beast. You have the electromagnetic elements there. I think that's something that could definitely be something that Palpatine has been up to, and that could be, what we're seeing in these trailers. Now, it's probably not a Zillo Beast organically, but maybe they're taking the scales, maybe they're taking the technology that they got from the Zillo Beast, and they're then going and applying that to this new creature. And that would be badass. And I could see Palpatine doing that because we know that he's trying to take down the Jedi. What better way than to basically control something that is impervious to lightsabers? And another fun fact on Zillo Beast, they were believed to be extinct, but apparently Kylo Ren in a comic book kills another Zillo Beast. So there's more Zillo Beasts. That's pretty badass that Kylo Ren took him down. I would love to see that in live action. Cool. So now let's look at the next. This is going to be number 3. And this one is Cody. What happens to Commander Cody? So let's pull up Commander Cody's file on Wikipedia. And one that stood out to me is that the only thing we really have after, in terms from content after Clone Wars, is what he did in the Force Unleashed comic book. So you have After Utapau, Age of the Empire. Cool. And so Legacy, I believe it's here, somewhere in here. Anyway, it talks about how he is essentially, it's a year before the Battle of Yavin, and he's working with it. He's worked his way up to be in charge of an Imperial battalion on one of the cities in Kamino. Now, obviously, this doesn't work now with what happened in Bad Batch. Kamino is decimated. Topoka City is in the water, but he's working with these conscripted soldiers, and he's super frustrated because they're not holding themselves to the standard that the clone troopers that were being held to, and they're not, as capable. And he's regularly testing his soldiers with drill exercises, only to be profoundly disappointed with the enlisted troopers. And so we see that little scene in the trailer where he's saying, what is he saying? He wasn't immune to or he said, we hear talk now about how more and more clones have been questioning the order. So if more and more clones are questioning the order, well, is that because their chips are starting to wear off? And he wasn't immune to Order 66. He also wouldn't be immune to the inhibitor chip starting to wear off. And so I think we see Cody flip and become, someone that is on the side of the Bad Batch. I don't think he lives maybe through the season, and that's kind of part of my theory number 4 with Crosshair. But I think it would be cool to see him flip and kind of almost repent for the things that he did wrong and kind of come to terms with, oh man, Obi-Wan is my dude, and I shot him out of the sky. And I think that would be sick. So that's theory number 4, or theory number 3. Theory number 4 is going to be with Crosshair. So let's pull up Crosshair, his chart right here. So Crosshair is going to be someone that I did a stop screen share. It's going to be someone that I did a Trooper Spotlight on. So if you want to learn more about him and his backstory, you can definitely do that on the Trooper transmission already. I'm going to pull that up right here and just show you guys all what that looks like. We're on the channel. So we did a Crosshair one. Going to be doing these once a week. We got, for this Sunday being released, is going to be Hunter. So just about done editing that. And we're just going to continue to do these every Sunday, releasing Clone Trooper Spotlights. But with that, I think the idea with Hunter is that he is this guy that has already had kind of his arc. He already had his opportunity to rejoin the Bad Batch. He already had that come to Jesus moment, and he didn't. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was cool that he was like, hey, I'm going to just stick with the Empire. I'm not going to, switch ways. I know I had the inhibitor chip. I know I got switched, but he's always been loyal to the Empire. And I think that that's a really cool character journey for him. And Luke is about to jump on top of my shelf, so you might see Luke and Leia going at the same time. But I think with Crosshair dying, I think that gives him that opportunity to not necessarily rejoin the Bad Batch, but repent for his sins as well by siding with the Empire. Doesn't want to leave himself on the wrong side of history. And so I think that's definitely something that we could experience, or that we could see in in season 2, probably later in the episodes. I think him and Cody will have a similar arc, but I think Crosshair dies by the end of the season. That is my prediction. So let's stop screen sharing here. Boom, boom. And now the last one, Gungi. This is where we go really deep, and this is where I think this is a ton of speculation. But if you ever read, I'm going to pull up this book now, The Dark Lord of the Sith. It's a Darth Vader book. I read it several years ago, but this book right here was fascinating because it introduced a few characters that I think we could see inspirations for Gungi. So Gungi obviously is in the Clone Wars. He's one of the Padawans that went and found their crystal or kyber crystal on Ilum. And in this show, or in this book, there's a few different Jedi that are introduced that Vader's hunting. You have Masters Roan Shrin, Bol Chaddock, and then a Padawan, Oleen Starstone. And Shrin and Starstone engage with Vader on Kashyyyk. Now, here's where we get really far out there. What if they both end up, or what if they end up on Kashyyyk for a mission? Genji confronts Vader, and that's where we get a chance where Genji's maybe protecting some family members. Maybe this far out there, Chewbacca is introduced, or we see Tarful in the series, and Genji is kind of like that connective glue, and they're pulling inspiration from this book. Obviously, that's legends. Obviously, that is pure speculation, and we don't really have anything to prove that. But I think that would be sick, and that would be, I think, something that they could do with Genji. I don't think they're going to give him a whole nother arc, and all of a sudden we have the Genji show, and he shows up in video games. I think it'd be cool to see him get killed. I think that makes sense. So 3 deaths, if we're tallying it up: Crosshair, Cody, and Genji all getting whacked, but doing so in a really cool way. As a recap as well, we're going to see a Zillo Beast, or the technology that they got from the Zillo Beast. And last but not least, the first one that I mentioned was that Rex is going to send them to find Commander Wolffe. So Rex has got Wolffe and Gregor to hang out with on Sealos. Let me know what you think, though. These are all speculation. These are all theories. Let me know what your theories are down below in the comments. And let me know as well, one of the things I want to do moving forward is creating a community for y'all to join in on. So whether that is Discord, Patreon, going to be pulling up subscriptions soon. One of the things that I'm really big on is fitness. I have my own fitness company, my own fitness business. And in the past, I've done essentially 8-week challenges. I did one for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I've done trooper boot camps as well. And so when you join the community, when you do the workouts, I send these to clients. I send these to people. Really cool patches. I got them on my weighted vest down in my gym that you've maybe seen when I'm just goofing around on shorts. But that would be something that I'd love to build the community around, where it's essentially troopers getting fit, working off that job with the gut, and talking Star Wars. So if you're interested in that, drop me a note in the comments. I can get back to you and show you where that Discord is. I'm not showing it off yet. I want to make sure we get enough people to have it make sense. But those are my theories. Bad Batch Season 2, 3 weeks out. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to doing this live with y'all more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next Trooper Transmission. This is CT3939 signing out. Peace. Luke, why are you stabbing my leg, man?